Hello, Chanel.
Hello, Cindy.
We made it to a very exciting episode because we are now at
Wow.
our musical episode. So,
Musical.
as a decision that I just made right now, we
Oh,
are not going to speak at all for the rest of
yeah,
this
we just
episode.
sing.
We're just gonna sing,
Okay,
and
start it
then
off.
we're gonna watch our viewership plummet. Yes, 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 yes. We're gonna watch it hit
It's
rock
worth it.
bottom. It's gonna. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it truly?
Yep.
Because only 50% of this podcast can sing.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
think
what
that's
and the
enough.
50% is Winston. Yeah, Winston.
Winston, he's got it.
Yeah, he's got it. He's going to sing literally. But anyway, we are going to be talking about The Color Purple and Wicked. Sorry, Winston tried to eat my lights
Wicked.
again. Anytime that I'm not paying attention to him, he's trying to eat my lights. But
Period.
anyway, yes.
As he
The
should.
Color Purple and Wicked. No, he shouldn't because these are
Yes.
expensive.
He
And I'm telling you this
should.
right now. If he eats them and it's broken, I'm not having lights. I shall be a shadow.
A shadow
A shadow, yes.
of the
Yes, I'm not
depths.
replacing.
But
But
yeah,
anyway, we'll be talking
yes.
about these two
Yes.
films.
And I get to tell what happened in both of these films because last episode you told what happened in both of the films. So,
Did I really?
yes.
I didn't even realize.
It's
Why do you say
fine.
something?
You were into it, so I just let you broom broom,
Wow. My
Broom
bad,
broom.
my bad.
Yes.
Did I really
So,
tell for both of them?
yes, unless my memory fails me. Um,
Mm.
so let's start with Wicked. Come on.
Really? I don't want to start with
Period.
Wicked.
Too bad. I'm the one telling the story here.
That's
So we're starting
crazy.
with Wicked. Thank you.
That's
Um,
insane.
so what happened in Wicked? First of all, I don't know why this movie is called Wicked. Full stop. It should be called Wicked Part 1 because you get half of a story. You get
No,
half. It even says it
Chanel,
in the movie.
when you said that, I was about to explain to you like the reason why it's called Wicked
No,
because
I
I'm
know
like
why it's
there's a
called Wicked.
legit.
Because of the play or the musical.
Yeah, duh. I mean, she's the
Duh.
Wicked Witch of the West.
Did you
What do
not
you
hear the
mean? Why is it
song?
called Wicked?
Wicked!
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And so, half of the story, right? So we
Yes,
start out, we see how Elphaba was created. You know what I mean?
yes.
Her
Period.
her her mom is a cheater. And
Hmm.
so she cheated with someone, got pregnant, had a child, and the baby was wicked, a baby. She had green skin, and she was immediately outcasted by her father especially, but everybody in society is like, why are you green?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. You're evil. And
Hmm.
so when she's a little girl, she discovers that she has magical powers. And they tend to align when she has strong emotions. And so I think that's pretty much it for the part when she's a child, unless I'm misremembering. Her father treats her really bad and yada yada.
Mm-mm.
But
I think you got it.
yeah. So then after that, she's dropping her sister off at school, and she I can't remember what happened, but she had like another strong emotion. I don't remember the context, but she has a strong emotion. I think it's because people were making fun of her or something like that, and
Hmm.
she ends up, destroying things, and everybody's shocked, like, "Oh my gosh, does she have magical powers?" But then the headmistress steps in, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that was me." I'm so powerful. I'm just keeping you on your toes. And so then after that, uh, Madame Morrible, that's the name of that character, she decides to take Elphaba under her wing. And this is at the behest of Galinda. Um, and
Glinda the
so,
Good.
yeah, I guess. And so Galinda is upset that she's not getting that tutoring role with Madame Morrible because Miss Morrible only accepts like one student at a time. And
Hmm.
so
Or just not even a student at a time, just a student with potential.
yes. And so Elphaba, she has to be accommodated and the only available person to accommodate her with, so that she has a room, is Galinda, and so they have to be
Mm-hmm.
roommates, but they hate each other because they already
Mm-hmm.
got off to the wrong foot.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, we see how Alphaba and Galinda fight each other, they hate each other, and then eventually they come back together through a misunderstanding to actually like each other, which we can talk about later. And then after that, they end up going over to the wizard, and oh no, the
Off to see
wizard's
the
the bad
wizard.
guy. Oh my god, who would have thought? Who
The
would have
wonderful
ever
Wizard
guessed
of Oz.
that? And so that is pretty much it. At the end of the movie, Elphaba's like, girl, I gotta go my own way and discover how
Gotta
I'm gonna
go
do
my own
things.
way.
Because she's on the outskirts, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, kill her. So that is the premise of
Yes.
Wicked. Wow.
Um, quickly, I just want to add. I heard that. I mean, just to give reason as to why it's not called Wicked Part 1. The second
Yes.
movie is not going to be called Wicked Part 2 or Wicked. It's called Wicked for Good.
You see, I was very confused because I thought the
Yeah.
first, because what was they gave the first part a name, question mark, at the beginning? I don't remember.
I think they just called it Wicked.
Okay.
And
I
maybe
remember
did
because
they put Part 1?
they did have a title card somewhere that said part 1. I remember seeing that, but
Maybe.
I don't remember if they named it or not.
I
I
mean,
think
they might make it. Yeah,
go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just. They might say Wicked 4 2, and they might put like Part 2, in the
Mm-hmm.
film, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's from the perspective. I feel like it's like it's giving an optics type of thing, right? Like it feels like
Yeah.
it's
I
on
felt
purpose
bamboozled
to. Whew, I could
because I had no idea. I don't know anything. And so I went
Mm-hmm.
into the movie pretty much blind. And so when I was like, huh, this is part 1, and especially
Yeah.
when it ended, I was like, this is really part 1 because I first assumed that it was
Mm-hmm.
part 1 inside of the movie. Does that make sense? And then there was going to be a
Yes.
part
Yes. Yes.
2
Mm-hmm.
inside of the movie. And
Because movies
so
do that. Yeah.
yeah, and so at the end I was like, "Girl, you
Yeah.
really tricked me. You're wicked. You
Mm-hmm.
tricked me
Yes.
because you really trying to be out here trying to get this money. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?" I'm
Yes.
like, if I
In the
would have
scheme
known
of
this was a
things,
part 1, I probably wouldn't have watched it. I probably would have waited until part
especially
2 came
given that it
out.
was 3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours.
Yes. But like I was just gonna add, in the scheme of things, when you sit and think about it, and the fact that Wicked is an adaptation of a play, plays typically have acts. So the fact there's a
Yes.
part 1 and part 2 makes sense. What doesn't make sense to me is that the quote unquote intermission, which in plays is somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes,
Yes.
in our case for the movie is a full year. It's
A
literally
full
a
year.
full year. I think it came out like the 22nd of November or something,
Yeah.
and it's coming out the 23rd. Oh, 22nd of 2024 of November, and it's coming out the 23rd of 2025 in November.
So
It's like
unfair.
exactly a year. Dramatic. Um
Yeah.
but anyway, to give a play by play, I feel like it's gonna be something similar to what we did for the substance. There's just a lot that you can talk on. So unfortunately you can't really hit on like repeating themes, but I think I'm gonna do
Yeah.
my best in saying generally there are songs that I enjoyed and songs that I didn't enjoy. If you were on social media around the time that Wicked came out, you probably saw a lot of different people doing renditions of like we get closer to the screen depending on, or the proximity that we get to the camera gets closer depending on how much we like the song, something like that,
Mhm.
so
Yep.
I will say that I fall into that category. There are definitely songs that I thoroughly enjoyed and there's songs that I thoroughly didn't, but I digress. The movie had a lot of singing. One of the things that I would like to say that I enjoyed that's not necessarily a scene, but it's costume design, because round of applause for whoever made that micro braid wig.
Bust down. Down to the
Bust
booty
down, like
braids.
down to the booty. Those things were tight. They were giving hair. They were giving real hair.
Yeah.
That was
That
the
was
hair growing
crazy.
out of her head. Beautiful. And that wig,
The
seamless.
wig.
The baby hairs that they had in front, beautiful.
Yep.
Literally, whoever came up and did the costume design for Elphaba deserves all the awards because
Oh,
Elphaba in itself, from the hair to the nails to the eyebrows to the skin, that looked like skin.
it looked
The
like
skin,
skin.
it was giving skin,
It gave skin.
and I loved it. That to me, the moment I saw it and I was really able to focus, I was like, that's it. Like that's it. Like that is it.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
I thoroughly enjoyed that portion. That's my first
Yes.
one I'll give.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the costume design, beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, Other good things about this movie, I really felt Elphaba's struggle. I think
Yes.
Cynthia Erivo did a great
Mm,
job. Very
yes.
believable, and you felt bad for her, even though she's a little dumb. But I
Yeah.
can understand everybody's hated you, so okay, I get
Yes.
it. Period.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Winston just climbed up into frame.
Hi, Winston.
Yeah, say hi to people. Oh no, he's about to go to sleep. I was like, say hi to the people. He literally just got up here to be comfortable. You can barely see him, but he's there. Um, Another scene that I enjoyed. Let's see. I really liked when they were in. Actually, let me try to tell this in chronological order. I liked the incorporation of the animal citizens.
Yeah,
I
I wanted
really
more of them,
appreciated the. I
but
think you
maybe
get
part
more in the
two.
second part. Yeah. I really like the establishing of that, and I like the relationship between Elphaba and her professor. It just gave that marginalized communities
Mm-hmm.
bond together. That's what it gave to me. Like, there's definitely a deep underlying message, right? Like, it was giving Elphaba is black, and then also these animal people are black people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the sense of like the struggle that they went through, like it was giving that they were black, and then all these wizards trying to kick them out were the colonizers.
Yeah, heavy on that. And the irony of the time that this came out.
Mm-hmm.
Too close to Voter Tuesday, bro. Too close.
Yeah,
Too close.
yeah.
I was
The
feeling
way
some type of
that
way.
this movie would have such a completely different connotation if Voter Tuesday didn't happen right before it.
Oh my
They
god.
literally were playing with fire when they picked that date, and they ultimately lost, right? Because that movie would have been so much more powerful if yeah.
Yeah, you don't even gotta
Anyways,
say it.
nope, I'm not
Um
gonna say it. Nope, but yes.
Yeah, but yeah, it was wild to watch that movie, and I'm like, huh, a lot of this seems very familiar, probably to
Mm-hmm.
modern times. Very, very
Yes.
familiar. Um, I don't like that, and so it was hitting a little too close to home. But nonetheless, I
Yeah.
appreciate the, you gotta take it there if you're gonna take it there, you know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so a scene that I liked, the after she's selected by Madame Morrible, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna be in this school." She has a moment where she goes off by herself, Alphaba, and she sings her little song, "The Wizard and
Mm-hmm.
I." That was
Yeah.
after that little number, I was like, okay, we're getting into the movie. Let's get into the movie.
And then
Let's
we didn't
go.
get into the movie.
We did not get into the movie. If this movie was an hour and a half or an hour as it was supposed to be as one movie,
Oh my
then it would have
gosh.
been good. We would have gotten
Yeah.
into the movie, but
But
yeah.
for that to happen though, the wizard and I would have needed to happen like 3 minutes in.
And I'm fine with
You
that
know?
cuz the second that song started, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're in the movie. Let's go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Before that, I was like, I guess.
Yes.
But that song is the perfect like we're starting. And
Yep.
so, yeah, and now that we're on the point of like wasted time, honestly,
Oh no.
well, we might as well talk about it because we've talked about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with the people. So I'm so sorry. But yeah, this movie was nearly 3 hours and it did not need all that time. And it felt like
No.
it was a part one. You know what I mean? It did not
Yes.
feel
Yes.
complete at the end. I felt like
Mm-hmm.
we're just getting started, but now I got to wait a year And then the next movie is still gonna be 3 hours? Huh? So
Right. I believe
that
so.
that made me short circuit just a little bit. And so I feel like some of the things that were lacking, even though the movie was 3 hours, there were certain things that like wasn't given enough time, and then certain things that were given too much time. And
Oh
so something,
yeah.
yeah, something
Mhm.
that I felt needed more time was one, the development between Galinda and Elphaba. There,
Yep.
how that was just shoehorned. It was like they had one dancing scene.
Yes.
The dancing scene was too long with the two of them. I'm so
Mhm.
sorry. It was too long. We needed to cut that in half. I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
Minimum. And
Yep.
so the scene between them two, that wasn't enough to make it make sense.
Yep.
It wasn't
Did
enough to make
you
it make sense for me.
did you see any information about the director's cut of the film?
No. No.
So, just to give you some extra context, the director's cut has a lot of the like relationship development that you're missing, because I've
Oh.
seen clips, because it's not just Elphaba and Galinda's character that people have said. People have also said Fiero and Elphaba
I was
lacked
gonna say that next. I was gonna say that
yeah,
next because they also didn't
Fiero
make sense. I'm like, to the point where you're
yes.
cheating on your girlfriend, that did not make sense to me. Like, we
Yeah,
needed to show more of a connection.
I watched the full scene that gave the connection that would have made
Oh,
that scene make sense, and it's a good scene. It pretty
yikes.
much is an extended scene after they take the lion cub that they steal,
Yes.
which is
Mm-hmm.
another good scene where Fiero pretty much goes to her. He's like, "Why'd you keep me awake? Like, I know what you did, and I know you
Yep.
put everybody asleep, but why'd you keep me awake?"
I
And you kind of see a
trusted.
little bit of that vulnerability. And there's also more of a scene between Fiero and Elphaba at the train when she's leaving before Glinda comes up and interrupts them. That also adds
Yeah.
like a piece of longing.
You see,
Um,
both of those scenes,
yes.
I agree. They felt like they just, like, it was too choppy and they, like, cut them up and it was
Yep.
like, okay, bye. One longing
Yeah.
look and then, okay, bye. Like, yeah,
Yes.
same.
So it's one of those things, bringing it back to your point about the movie being too long. It seems so interesting that like the movie was already 3 hours, but I feel like either you give me those scenes and make it four, like you've already
Yeah.
committed,
Commit
right?
all the way
Give me
or
those scenes.
cut what you need to
Or you
cut,
there
you
needs to be
know?
another director's cut where you bring back some of these dynamic scenes amongst between these characters,
And remove
so
all
that
the extra weight.
I I don't even know, like
There was
ah
a lot that could have been cut because I'm
yeah.
like, the main one was definitely their dancing scene because we did the same dance about 3 times, 4 times.
Yes.
Girl, we could have summed that up quicker. That was one
Yeah.
scene. Um, and I think there was just like, I'm thinking of like Fiero's song. I feel like that was long, bro. Dancing to life,
Okay.
herder. And I'm
Okay.
like,
So
bro, this
here's
is
the
a song
thing
about
though.
not reading. So we could
Here's
have.
the I like Jonathan Bailey though, so I
I
thought that
don't.
was a little
A
bit
lot of
fun.
people like Jonathan Bailey. I won't judge you for that.
Yeah.
I won't judge you.
Yeah,
I
it
listen
was
and I don't
fun.
judge.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
okay if you
fun,
judge.
but
It
in
was
a
fun.
3 hour movie where you didn't even hit what you were supposed to hit, I'm so sorry. I'm
Yeah.
taking off
Dancing
points.
through
I'm taking off
life.
points.
Da, 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 da,
That was a
da,
long
da,
song,
da,
and it
da,
has like nothing to do with the plot. Like,
da.
really, really though.
Nothing at all. Knowing nothing matters.
So I'm like, in a 3 hour movie, we gotta cut it. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
Cut
like,
it.
if you would
Cut
have,
it.
if they would have streamlined the things that they needed, they probably could have got that scene in, and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm. There's ways to do it. I'm
there's
sure
ways to
this
do
is
it.
why sometimes I feel like it'd be fun if they should give me the opportunity, right? If there should be a drawing to make a cut of a film, right?
Yes.
Me being the novice that I am, but a recent avid movie watcher, would love the opportunity to look at the full 7 to 8 hours of stuff,
Yep.
and then kind of like what I'm doing, like, like the cutting of clips, trying to find good clips, and I cut them and whatever. I want to do that with the film. Give me that chance,
Yep.
and just to see. Like, I don't have expertise. I really don't. I just like to watch movies. Let me make the movie that I would want to see, and then let's see how many people would want it. Because I promise you, if you gave me however long with Wicked, I would at least have given you some more development amongst
Yes.
the characters. The movie,
Yes.
I probably would be closer to 4.5 hours if I'm being honest.
Hey,
Maybe, because I feel like I
maybe.
would need like a couple of times through to get it just right.
You
But
see?
I'd make
Yeah.
a good film.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I could have, I think, give me both movies and all the film. I could have got you one movie that was 3 hours and it would have been the
Yeah.
first part, the second part, and everything you needed in it.
Yeah.
Solid. Solid as a rock.
Yep.
I think I
Solid
could have
as a
done it.
rock.
I mean, other movies have done it, so I think I could have done it. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think we could have.
All I gotta say is I blame Harry Potter. Anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Indirectly, yes.
Let me see. As far as just other scenes that I enjoyed from the film, because we're just kind of tap dancing around, I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciated that reveal of the like wizard. Or actually not necessarily the reveal, but I really liked what they did with the like the wizard's face, right? Because I've
Oh,
not
yeah.
seen Wicked the play personally.
I
I
have
haven't
not
seen the play,
either.
but I've seen the Wizard of Oz, right? And so the Wizard of Oz is an older film, but I know like, and there's been a lot of recreations, I guess you could say. Like, there's a Futurama episode where there's that like,
Yes. They've a
th-
million times in so
yeah,
many different ways. It's
it's
so in the
used.
culture.
Yes. So I really appreciated they like really committed to the electronic and making the wizard seem so grandiose, and then giving that anticlimactic feeling when it was just like Jeff Goldblum coming out and like
Yes.
it's just a man. There's
Just a
nothing special
man.
about this man.
You see, it hints to the twist, huh?
Yeah. Mhm. It sure
Yes.
does. It sure does.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I really liked that scene. I also liked Emerald City, like the general Emerald City, and they brought in Kristen Chenoweth and why am
You
I
can do it.
stuttering?
You can
Adina
do it.
Menzel. Oh
Yes.
my god, that was
As Dina
that.
Zazem. You remember that when that
No,
one
John
actor was
Travolta.
announced? Yes. It's the same person. I guess she's got one of those names.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I know how to say her name. I just started stuttering.
Hey, you recovered. That's all that matters.
Yeah, Adina
Period.
Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth.
Yes.
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 So I really liked that scene. So I enjoyed that portion of the film quite a lot.
Hmm. I think for me, I enjoyed the hair tossing. That
Toss
crowd was
toss.
hilarious. Toss toss. That was very
I
funny,
re-
and I like the vapidness of Ariana Grande's
yes.
Galinda.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought Ariana was about to break her neck with all them
Break
tossings.
it,
It
chop it
looked
in
like she
two.
was whipping really hard.
Yeet. That's what she said
Yes.
every time. But yeah.
Um do you have any more, cuz I want to my last one is like the very last part of the film. So, I want to make
Okay.
sure we hit everything else.
Yeah, I can just chime in with some other comments that I have.
Yeah.
Period. So this is not related to any. Well, I guess it is related to a couple scenes. I just want to say, for musical movies, Hollywood, I beg, choose actors that can sing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Please, please, for musicals, like there are a billion Broadway actors, and they will do a fantastic job on stage. But
Yeah.
some Hollywood actors, they can't do everything. You know what I mean? They can't sing. It's fine, but if they can't sing, don't have them in a musical movie, please.
Speaking of
Please.
a Broadway actor who can sing, do you know because I know you specifically like Madame Morrible and The Wizard were two that you were like they should.
Yes.
You know, Cheryl Lee Ralph played Madame Morrible. I believe she played
Yes.
in the original on Broadway.
I
And
believe you.
it's rumors, it's speculative, but supposedly she auditioned to play Madame Morrible
Oh,
in the movie
how
and
disappointing.
was not chosen. Yeah, I personally tell myself it was a scheduling conflict because to
Hopefully.
me it doesn't make any sense to me. Like it okay, there's two things that I tell myself. One, it's a scheduling conflict. And two, I would like to believe that because Madame Morrible becomes the villain and then Cynthia Erivo's character is black and prominently black, I would like to think that they didn't want to make another black woman in the film inherently evil, and like the black woman who's like Madame Morrible uses Elphaba, right?
Yeah.
And I would like to tell myself that it was a choice to not cast a black woman using another black woman for evil gain. And then ultimately, Madame Morrible tarnishes. She's the one who coins, like, she's wicked, right?
Yeah.
So I like to tell myself that it was a choice to make sure that it wasn't like, it's not black on black crime, but black on black crime.
Yes. Yeah, I wish that they would have just went for it though, because Homegirl can sing. Period.
She sings so well.
Yes.
Oh, I love me some Shirley
So that would have been
Ralph.
beautiful. And then I like the nuance because Elphaba's green. She's not black.
Yeah.
But she's treated like a black person in our society,
Okay,
an
she's
outcast.
green, but them micro
She's
braids. Those
Them
micro braids.
but she's
And the
green,
baby
girl.
hair and
She's
that nose.
green. She might be
She got them black features.
but she's green. Apparently everybody's fine with black people in this world, I guess. But green,
okay,
that's where they draw the line.
That's where
they draw the line.
But can we take a moment?
Which is another point.
We got barely any black people. We got Elphaba's mom, who was a cheater, and then Nessa Rose, who is half black.
And at that point, you might as well go ahead and make Madame Morrible black. I'm so sorry. Homegirl needs a check. That's all I gotta say. Give her more money. That's all I gotta say.
Please,
and she can sing.
Keep Shirley employed. I need to see her in more things.
Yes. So I would, Michelle Yeoh, beautiful gowns. Beautiful, beautiful gowns. Jeff Goldblum, I guess beautiful suits. I guess. Terrible. I'm so sorry. Hire actors that can sing for musicals, please.
Yes.
I beg. But yeah, other than that, take it away, Cindy.
So for me, by the time we reached the end of the film, like Chanel says, at 3 hours, I was exhausted. I wanted to leave.
I was exhausted.
This movie was so dang long. So long. But when we got to Defying Gravity, right, with Elphaba Cynthia Erivo flying around, singing her lungs out, like literally lungs are out of air, yet somehow her voice is carrying.
Yes.
I was not that hooked up until we have her battle cry at the end.
I was like,
exactly. Literally, yes. That sent chills down my spine. I had goosebumps. I literally, and then it immediately went black after she was in. I'm pretty sure I looked at you and I was like, that was the best film I've ever seen.
I know, just because of the ending. And then later on the walk back, we were reflecting. We're like, maybe it wasn't that good.
See, but here's the thing, though.
That ending.
Here's the thing, though, right? We were reflecting. After we saw that movie, we went and got In-N-Out, and we sat in my car eating In-N-Out, replaying that song over and over and over again. And while I do believe that movie is long, you always need to finish strong. And that movie finished so strong. It did finish strong.
Yep.
I feel like a fault of them is making the second part come out a year later. Maybe it's for purposes of like cycles and stuff, like, because again, but right, if you think about it,
even then all you have to do is wait 3 months. The new cycle's already in.
Yeah, but even still, right, like, it's just one of those things, because I was about to say that I feel like the second film should have come out a month later. I'm kind of thinking of it like Netflix, with the first half of a season coming out like March 15th and the second half coming out April 15th.
Yep.
The way that I felt about that film, if they brought the second part out a month later, I would be sad. It doesn't even matter to me that the first film was 3 hours and the second film is probably 3 hours. That battle cry was so good. That ending was so strong that I would have been sad.
You see, but could you imagine if that was the climax of the story instead of being the end of the story? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Because like that was part one, and like a normal plot structure. It goes from like exposition up to the climax, and then it goes down to resolution or whatever. Could you imagine if they allowed that to be the climax of the movie? So like, in the beginning, we have the wizard and I, and we're like, this is a movie. Let's get into the movie. Yeah. And then in the middle, you have, anyways, you have that. And you're like, hell yeah, let's get into it, buddy. And then they continue. And we get the fight and the battle and everything, and we finish it all in 3 hours.
Here's the thing. It depends.
One payment?
So come back to me in a year after I see, because
Yeah,
I will
let me
still see the
know.
second half.
Because I don't
And
know
you're
if
not gonna watch
I'll
it,
watch the first half again. That's too long.
which is fair. I'm not watching the first. I'm not watching the first half again. I'm going in blind. Like, I'm gonna go see the second half. I think the
Yeah.
best that I'll probably do is there's a possibility that I'll watch Wicked on Broadway, like, or off Broadway. Like I'll watch the
Mm.
play to
Yep.
get the context that I need for the first half because it's a shorter span. But I will have to come back to you as to whether or not I think it would be better to have that Defying Gravity as the climax and then go, because to me, even in the play itself, Defying Gravity is the last part of that act before you get
Yeah.
the break. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a break is still needed for me. Even if it's
Yeah.
like, I feel like if you made that the climax and then you kept going, I feel like it would just defeat the purpose. Like, I don't think the climax would have been as impactful personally. Like, you need time to sit in it. If it was going to be the same movie, the movie itself would then have to need to go black for at least 5 to 10 minutes to
You
start
know
up
what?
again,
Go
which
ahead
I
and
feel like would
bring
be,
back intermissions. Could you imagine?
yeah, yes, I'd be,
Make the movie
eh.
4 hours, have an
You think you,
intermission, people can grab
mm-hmm.
snacks, and then come
Oh
back and
yeah.
sit back down.
Could you imagine dinner too? Oh man, we need like a dinner movie theater by me. Like, that's what I need.
Ooh, period.
But
But
yeah, like, I
yeah.
think there needs to be an intermission. Regardless, there needs to be a break. So if it were to be one movie, there would need to be a break. Otherwise, I will get back to you once the second part is out and I've watched it
Yeah.
as to
You
what would be the
see,
best way to do it. Mhm.
maybe if I still think it should have been one movie. Intermission's an
Mhm.
idea. I think there's definitely a storytelling way to have that break while you're still in the movie and still have it
Yeah.
be contained, but I'm not a
Mhm.
director, whatever.
Yes.
And then number two, the stage play, isn't the stage play like 3 hours in total?
Uh yes. No, it's less than that. I think the stage play is like significantly less. I think it's like an hour and a half maybe?
Let's
Cuz
see.
plays aren't long.
Wicked musical. Normally musicals are longer
Oh, okay.
runtime. Let's see. Runtime. Please don't come up with the. Okay, so the Broadway musical Wicked runs for 2 hours and 45 minutes, including a
Yeah.
15-minute intermission.
So technically it's
So,
2.5 hours
yeah, exactly. So it is shorter than one half.
of the movie.
Jesus Christ. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even have
I've
anything
said
else to
this to
say.
you before, and I'll say it on the podcast. Wicked is a theater, the movie itself is a theater kid's passion project, right?
Yeah.
It's giving to me that, like, you have a director and you have a cast that grew up with the play, grew up singing the songs, and they want to do it justice by adding their own twist to it, but still putting everything that the play has and more into the movie.
Whew, it's just too much. It's too
Right.
much.
Because, like, with the movie, which it's going to be counterintuitive to say because they didn't do it, but with the movie you have an opportunity to build relationships that are assumed to be a thing in place, right? So
Yeah.
that's typically where you would have more time. But it's the fact that this movie didn't do that it just felt like it
Well,
happened.
I guess. They love
Yeah.
each other now. I don't know.
Right. So anyway, um, to
Moving
all
on.
that to say, you're probably not going to see the second half unless I come back to you and I say, "Oh my god, like, you
Um,
have to see the second half."
yeah, I'll probably get to it. Um, but I might watch it at home so I can skip. So,
That's fair.
yeah.
That is fair.
And
My
they
only
they already took
concern
my
about
money.
watching it, yeah, my only concern about watching it at home, I think I need to see where Wicked the first part is to see if it's accessible or not. Because if it's behind another paywall, if I'm not watching it, if it's not in
I'll make my
theaters
parents
anymore,
pay for it.
Oh, there you go.
Period.
But yeah, so that was
Yes.
Wicked.
And let's move
Shall we
on to the
transition?
color purple. And let me describe this one. So, the color purple, this is a classic for my culture. Thank you. Black American culture. Um, it's originally a book that was written by Alice Walker, The Color
Mhm.
Purple. I haven't read the book, but I've seen the original movie with
Whoopi
Whoopi
Goldberg.
Goldberg. It also has Oprah in there. Um,
Yes, Oprah
and
Winfrey.
so that movie I remember watching as a child multiple times, and I was bawling my eyes out every single time because goddamn, the story is so
Yeah.
powerful and it's so freaking sad. But then it ends
Mm-hmm.
on a high note, which is good. So you don't want to like kill yourself after it. You just want to like cry for a little bit and like be alone.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the vibes. But for the color purple, it stars Celie. Celie. She is a teenager. She's gotten pregnant a couple times. Her dad has given away her babies. And so one day, this man named Mister comes to town. He is lusting, I will say, over her sister Nettie. Nettie is,
Mm-hmm.
like, get away from me. It's not going to happen. But Mister goes to the father of Celie and Nettie, and he says, "Hey, I want Nettie's hand in marriage." Um, the father says, "Hell no, but you can have Celie for a
Mm-hmm.
cow and some eggs or something." And
Right.
so he doesn't want Celie, but he takes her anyways because his wife died, and so he needs someone to take care of his kids, and that's what wives are for, right? At least back in 1920, or
Mm-hmm.
18 something, 1890, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, he takes Celie. He's abusive. And then one day, Nettie comes because their father tried to touch her. Mm. And so she tries to stay, and then Mister's not having it, kicks her out, and Celie and Nettie are separated. They have no idea where each other are. And Celie kind of has to get along on her own with an abusive husband and trying to, live life and survive. So I think I'll leave it there because it gets dark. But yeah, so that's the premise of The Color Purple. Whew, you know, it gets me every time. Um, so yeah, key scenes in here. What you got, Cindy? What do you want to talk about?
Oh my goodness. I don't know because you
It
already know how
it
I feel about this.
hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Like this film hurts, and
It
so
was
like
hard.
Wicked, we're like la 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 because it's not like the stakes aren't high in Wicked. It's like whatever. It's make believe, but this is like grounded in reality in a different way, and it's so dark and it hurts, and like abuse is going on, rape is happening, like racism, like all of these things are going on, and they just hit you, and you're just like, damn, that hurt.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You mentioned that you grew up watching The Color Purple. This is my first time
Mm-hmm.
seeing anything related to it. I heard about it growing up. I never watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So all these emotions that you're like, it's a lot. That's what was hitting me for the very first time, and
Ooh, girl.
I didn't
I
enjoy
should have
it.
held your hand. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So the thing is, I knew. So here's the thing. I feel like I don't even know how I was able to go this long without knowing the plot. All I knew was that it was a hard movie to
You
watch.
see, I
That's
think
all
it's
anybody ever
because
said.
nobody talks about this movie because it hurts.
Yes.
Nobody's like,
Yes.
hey, yeah, so I watched this movie and this happened. Because literally every plot point is like, ouch, until you get to like the very
Yeah.
end. So,
Yes. So I'm
yes.
watching this film. Like, to be honest, I don't think there really is. There's not a scene that I can bring up to say that I enjoyed it. There's not. There's not a
And
singular scene
that
that
makes
I can say I
sense.
enjoyed.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Like the
Yeah.
scenes that you're like, that felt good is normally like the end
There's
where you're
none.
like, the end where she's reunited with her sister. I think that's the
See,
only scene, and that's the last scene,
like
the
5
last one.
seconds, but at the same time I don't
Yes,
even feel good because to me the
they
time
went through
skips
a
were too
lot.
quick.
They
They
went through a
literally
lot.
they heavy
Whew,
loaded all of her abuse in the beginning of the film
whew.
where this woman was abused. Let's just
Abuse,
say for timing
abuse.
purposes, the movie was an hour long. I think it was close.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a little bit over 2 hours, but let's just say the movie was an hour long. For 58 minutes and 30 seconds they abused this woman and put other black women around her through abuse. If Celie wasn't being abused,
So
the
she
women
told somebody
around her were
else.
being abused.
Okay,
Huh?
let me tell you. Let me break down some of the pivotal scenes that I like, because I've seen this movie, like not this movie, but I've seen the original movie enough to like know the scenes that I quote unquote like. Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, first of all, my favorite character is, what is her name? Sophia. Sophia, played
Mm-hmm.
by Danielle Brooks. You recognize her from, did you ever watch Orange is the New
Orange is the
Black?
New Black. Yep.
Period. I
That's
love,
where she
shout
was
out
friends with
Danielle
Pusey.
Brooks. We love
Pusey, right?
you.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, yeah, that's my favorite character in the movie. So most of my favorite things surround her. So I
Yeah.
love the scene where she comes and she confronts Harpo's father and
Mister.
grandfather. Yep, Mister, who's Celia's husband, and that old
Played by
fart,
Coleman
that
Domingo, who I've
Coleman
never seen Coleman
Domingo. We got
in
to talk
such
about the
a
acting.
yeah.
But let me get
I
through
will say
some of
the acting
the
was
scenes
A1.
because we need to get
Yeah.
into the acting. Okay, so remind me, please. So, but just some of the scenes that I liked. So when she came up and she was like, "Me and your son, yeah, we're pregnant and we're getting married. What's good?" And he's like, "Haha, how are
Mm-hmm.
you gonna let your woman talk to you like that?" I love the dynamics where Sophia was not afraid to speak her mind and put some people in their places. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that I liked, another scene was when Celie told Hoppo to beat Sophia. All's my
Yep.
life I had to fight. I fight
Yep.
my daddy. I fought my brothers.
Wait,
That's
is that where Kendra gets the lyric from?
probably. Girl.
Whoa!
Black American culture. Black American culture. Period. Wow, we actually have one. Oh, I'm looking
Crazy.
at you,
Who would have
Brits.
thunk?
Who would have
Ah!
thunk? But yeah, so that, I'm telling you, if you ever get the soul points enough to watch the original movie, watch that
I'm telling you right now,
because
I can't.
I'm telling you, Cindy, it's
I
worth it.
can't.
It's
That
worth it.
movie and Precious are two films that are on my do not watch list.
Girl, I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Mm-mm.
It's worth
I'm
it.
okay. I'm okay.
That,
Thank you.
you told Hoppo to beat me. I used to quote that as a child. I don't know why my parents let me
Really?
quote. Yes, I used to quote the entire speech. I don't know why my parents were letting me do that, but I did. I'm just saying. So,
I'm imagining 10-year-old Chanel being like, "You told Hoppo to beat me."
100%. I used to do it, but I digress. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, my favorite character is Sophia, and so it's so sad to watch her go through her whole storyline
Mhm.
because you have Celie telling Hoppo to beat her, and so she has to
Yeah.
put him in his place, and that ruins their relationship. And
Yep.
then she ends up getting with somebody else, but she runs into the white woman, mayor's wife. And
Yeah.
because she's a very free spirit and she doesn't hold her tongue, she says hell no to that lady
Yeah.
when she asks to be her, she wants her to be her maid. And then she gets thrown in prison and
For
beaten
6
probably every
years.
day for 6 years. And then she has to go work at
Crazy.
that lady's place. And then finally she gets free. And then they're all sitting at that table. And Celie just in that spirit because what is that lady's name in the story? The singing lady.
Taraji P. Henson's character?
Yeah, Taraji P.
Suge?
Henson. Shug. Yes. Oh, she's number 2. Shug. My bad. So, Shug, she says, "Hey, we're taking Celie with us." And she was like, "You know what? I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah.
You can die. I'll murder
Yep.
you and you're going
Mhm.
to be gone." And so I would say my favorite aspect was when Sophia started laughing at that part. And it was like a
Yeah.
whole spell was broken because she
She
was
was the
not,
shell of herself.
yeah, she was shell shocked. And then
Mhm.
I love the part when Celie's leaving and she does the hand.
I don't
Remember
remember that.
this? She
Mm-mm.
was in the car, right, getting ready to leave
Yeah.
with Celie or Shug, and
Mhm.
she put her hand up like this, the little claw, and she was like, "From now on, everything you touch is going to crumble unless you do right by me."
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
see, you're talking about Celie.
that's, who did I say?
So it was just a transition from Sophia to
Oh
Celie,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
was not picturing Celie at all.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is Seeley, the hand,
Okay.
the claw.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know what
So
you're talking
yeah,
about.
that's the one I love from Seeley because she finally snapped out of it because
Yeah.
Sophia and everybody was on her side in that moment.
Yes.
And so that was
Yes.
a very beautiful moment. And then of course she starts her little business. Shouts out to her. And then finally that
An
man did right by her by
entrepreneur.
bringing her sister out. But yeah.
Yep.
So those, I would say are my key moments. But I think it's easier for me to pick out those moments because I've seen the original movie so many times. And so it's
Yeah.
more like a walk down memory lane for me instead of being stabbed multiple times by
Yeah.
sadness.
I was traumatized for 2 hours and some
Absolutely.
minutes.
You see, I'm not new
So
to this. I'm true to this.
yeah, I'm very new to this, so this movie was very, very difficult for me to get through.
Yeah.
Um,
And I was telling you that this one was the lighter
yeah,
one of
the
the
lighter
two because
version, and
I
that's
feel
the
like
reason why I don't want to watch the real, not the second one, but the
it's so worth
original.
it. It's the
I'm
acting
s-
in that original movie is phenomenal.
I'm so sorry.
It's
I
phenomenal.
need a couple years.
I don't blame
Give me a
you.
couple years.
Girl, I haven't watched the original movie in years. I'm also
Yeah,
traumatized, but I'm not new to this.
give
I'm true to
me
this.
give me a couple years. Maybe
Yes.
one
A couple
day. I
years is
feel like
perfectly
one day where
understandable.
I really feel like I need to cry. Like if I ever need like a really
Yes.
good
It's
deep
a
cry,
great cry movie. Absolutely.
yeah,
So
then I'll
yeah,
turn it on. But for
whenever that
now,
day
I'm good.
comes, go ahead. Go ahead. You got to watch it before you die.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
As long as
That
you
gives
have that,
me
you're
a
good.
good amount of time.
Yeah.
Knocking on wood to make sure that I'm I'm not jinxing myself.
Period. Period.
But yeah,
And
so I wish I
yeah.
could contribute more. I think you hit up on some good points
Mhm.
with
Yeah, just trying to get some of those
the
scenes out there.
the claw, and then I also liked I we can get into the acting because I
Yeah.
really enjoyed Coleman Domingo as
He
Mister because
he killed it.
he killed it. The work that I've seen him in, I think I've only really seen him, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think is in Euphoria. That was the first I've been
Yes.
introduced to Coleman, and and then after that I've just seen him as a person, like him in
Mhm.
interviews and stuff, and he just seems like such a good guy. That seeing him as someone so nasty and terrible
Disgusting piece of
as Mr.
garbage.
That just shows range because that is so not Coleman Domingo. Like, and I don't think anybody could ever convince me. Like, if there was any think pieces that came out that Coleman Domingo was his character as Mr., I would literally look at them and be like, they're
Shooketh.
spewing garbage because it's
Shooketh.
not
And
sugar.
yeah, I was saying shooketh.
Oh, shooketh.
Um Coleman Domingo, the way that he portrayed the oldness of the character was actually insane. I
Yeah.
was like, that's
Mm-hmm.
an old man.
Yep.
That is
He's
an
just
old,
good at what he
pathetic
does.
loser man. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody did a fantastic job in this movie when it came to acting. I
Mm-hmm.
was shocked. I was shocked
Yeah.
because
No notes.
it's a remake, so I'm like, what are they gonna do? But no, everybody did their job
Mm-hmm.
beyond. And then additionally, the singing. First of all, Fantasia, duh,
Yeah. Duh.
duh, period, duh. Taraji P Henson though, I read that she was actually singing in that movie, girl. I was
Go
shocked.
Taraji.
I had to Google it because I was like, is that her singer? And it
Mm-hmm.
is. And I was like, girl, you could tell she did work. Cause
Yep.
it was first of all, it sounded great. Second of all, it sounded like the character. It sounded like
Mm.
like the
Should.
times of like the 20s and like the vibe and everything. She got it
Yeah.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Um yeah, we love that.
Yes, we do indeed.
Period.
Do you have any points that you want to say before we go into themes?
Um I would say this movie needed more songs
Oh yeah, because
because
it's a musical.
yeah, it's a musical and I kept forgetting that it was a musical.
Mm-hmm. Because
Um
it's supposed to be. It's not really based on the other movie or based on the play, or no, it's based on the play or the musical, the
Yeah,
Broadway
it's based on
musical
the Broadway musical. It's not based on the movie, right? And
or
so
the
I was
book.
like,
That's the what I
yeah,
meant
and
to
the
say instead of play, the
yes.
book.
And so I'm like, they should have went full force with music to differentiate it from the original movie with Whoopi
Mhm.
Goldberg. I feel like they needed more songs because I kept forgetting. But I think also the songs were nice because it kind of pulled back on some of the super darkness in this
Yeah.
musical play or this movie. So I think it
Mhm.
helped to kind of make it more like dreamful. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Mhm.
Whimsy. It added a little bit of
Whimsical.
whimsy. Yes. To the movie that helps kind of undercut the extreme
Yeah.
darkness. Um so yeah, but that's my final point.
Okay. So let's get into themes. So the first one, shocking, the hardest one to distinguish between the both of these movies is that they're
Oh my
both
god.
musicals.
Oh my god.
I know,
Why would you say
crazy,
that?
crazy. I know, I know. I'm a genius. What can I
Yes.
say?
You are. You are. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um so then another theme, main character's black.
Yeah.
Another theme, well, we
A
both
black
have,
woman.
yes, we both have women characters who are
Yes.
outcasted from society cuz
Mhm.
Celie, yeah, we know Celie. Celie has kind of been outcasted in society because they keep calling her ugly, black as an insult,
Yeah.
and I forgot what else, but yeah, so they kind of treat her as different because of the way that she looks,
Yes.
especially compared to her sister. So,
Mhm.
yes, I
Yeah.
would say that's a
To tie to
theme.
that to tie to that point, I would say colorism because I really
Yes,
believe the reason why her sister was seen as better was because she was lighter skin.
exactly.
And then obviously Alpha was green. That's I think colorism in a more literal sense, I guess you could
Yes.
say.
Absolutely.
Is another theme. I would say terrible fathers, I think
Oh,
is a theme between both of them.
absolutely.
Like terrible fathers. Sisterhood too is another theme.
Yes.
Um one in more of a traditional sense and one less so, but still sisterhood.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am.
Mhm. And then um I can't think of, I feel like there could be more, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, I feel like we got the main ones.
Okay. So
Well,
we are at the ranking section now.
let's rank.
Uh and Chanel, if you could go through our list cuz I've
Yes.
forgotten.
You see, it happens to the best of us. Okay.
Yes.
So we have number one is Femme, period.
Mhm.
Challengers, Anatomy of a Fall, Past Lives, The Substance, excuse me, Anora, Baby Girl, A Different Man, The Last Showgirl, and then Nightbitch.
Okay. So I think we might have some debates. I think we might have
Okay.
some
I'm
debates.
curious. I'm curious.
Possibly. I have a movie where I think they should go. I'm not sure if they should, like, how to surround them, but I think we can
Yeah.
discuss it cuz I do you have an idea yet before I continue?
I have an idea.
Okay. So personally for me, I think where these movies kind of sit is around the Anora baby girl section where I believe that they are both better in my personal opinion than baby girl, but I'm trying to decide where they place around Anora personally.
Yeah.
Um for me, which is why I feel like it's going to be different than you, I think I would put it would go Wicked, Anora, The Color Purple, then Baby Girl.
Wicked, Anora, The Color Purple. Ah,
Mhm.
and then Baby Girl. Yes, I
Yes.
definitely disagree.
Yeah.
I would do, let me make sure in my mind. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is it. I think. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
So, I would do Anora on top,
Mm.
Color
Okay.
Purple, and then
Mhm.
Wicked.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have some debating to
We
do.
have some debating. I don't even know if we ever discuss what we would do with here. Like, are we supposed to discuss
We
our points?
have
Like what?
to agree. And so I think that's going to take some
That's gonna take a while.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah,
But also, we want to stop recording. So we got to
exactly.
agree quick.
So we have to see who concedes.
Yeah. We got to compromise.
Yes.
Compromise.
So,
I think I like Anora better than both of these movies. Just because.
I mean, mm-hmm.
So, just for my sake here, Anora is an original film, and I think that's the reason why I'm giving it the edge over the other two. Because Wicked, it comes from a Broadway play. The Color Purple, obviously, it has a lot of background. And so, for some reason, I just feel partial to something that's original. And then also, I feel like I'm not the hugest musical fan.
Yeah.
Also, as well. You know what I'm saying? Surprisingly, because I do sing. So I don't know what that says about me.
And I don't. So,
but I do love in-person musicals. I just don't like movie musicals in general.
Interesting.
In general.
Yeah.
General.
I enjoy. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Let's finish your point. Oh, I enjoy musicals personally. I do like musicals quite a lot, even starting from like High School Musical, which is the reason why I put it ahead. And like just comparatively, you even brought up the point, The Color Purple doesn't really have that much music, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
for it to be if you're looking at it for what it's supposed to be, The Color Purple doesn't really hit the mark, right? Because we're not necessarily comparing, like, I'm not putting it like as far as like the quote unquote real one, the movie that was made off of the book. If I'm looking at The Color Purple from the perspective of it's supposed to be a musical, it's not giving that. So then at that point, if I'm gonna, like, I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard about the original movie, right? You even in this episode have said multiple times that I need to go back and watch the original movie, and that this musical adaptation, and I'm putting quote unquotes around musical, doesn't do it justice. So then at that point, I'm like, okay, well then this is just a movie. There was no need to make this movie at that point. If we already have a play, and then we already have a movie that is essentially the same thing because this movie doesn't have that much music. That is the reason why I'm putting it lower, because now you're just telling me that I was traumatized for no reason.
Because you have to be re-traumatized.
Yes, exactly.
This was the warm-up, Cindy. It was the warm-up.
Exactly. So that's the reason why I'm putting it lower than the other two.
Here's the thing. I think we have a compromise here. Because what you just said, I agree. There was no reason for this movie to be made. I have to agree. And also, I will say, I have seen the actual musical on stage. Thank you.
And the musical
the stage musical is better because it's a musical.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I have to agree with you there.
Wow.
That, because even, I didn't even watch this movie in theaters because I was like, why was it made?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember that was the discourse a lot. Like, why was this movie made?
Yeah, they just didn't, and especially the fact that there wasn't enough music in it to actually make it the musical vibe. I have to agree. So I'm fine with putting The Color Purple above Babygirl. But we're compromising here, aren't we, Cindy? We're compromising. So we're putting
that one.
I'm fine
with Anora
under Anora.
I can do that. I'm fine with that.
And let's
I didn't even get to give my point as to
shake
why,
my hand.
Hey, I'm shaking your hand. All I gotta say is I'm really proud of myself for being able to defend my point well enough that that was good.
That was good. That was really good because that's a good point. And I agree with that. There was no reason for the new Color Purple to be made. There's already so much goodness that we didn't really need it. With Wicked, though, I think it has to go underneath Anora because one, Anora is original, and the fact that they split it up into two parts, I can't forgive them for that. So
that's fair. So my point was going to be, for the reason why I wanted to put Wicked over Anora is because Black people.
Oh, that's real. That's real. But you put The Color Purple under Wicked, and so
but the only reason why I put The Color Purple, that's the thing, though, right? The only reason why. And that there's a method to my madness. Okay. I agree with you that in actuality, it should be Anora, Wicked, Color Purple from the
Mm-hmm.
perspective of what we just discussed, right?
Yep.
But the reason why, and you already heard the reason why The Color Purple was put down, because
Yes.
I love my black people, but this again is a movie that we have agreed
Yes.
should not be made. And from
Yes.
that perspective, if it's a movie that should not be made, it should be technically going lower on the list, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But it's sitting in the middle because it being a black film pushes it up,
You
right?
see,
Point blank.
and I
Yes.
have to say it's quality, especially
Eat it.
the
Yeah.
look at our bottom of our list. I'm so sorry for films at the bottom.
Exactly. Right. But
Like,
again, if we're going from the perspective of a movie that should not be filmed, it still would be above Nightbitch because that movie was a disgrace and should not have been made regardless.
Yep.
But then if you're looking from the perspective of like original ideas or whatever, talking about it, like Babygirl is an original plot, A Different Man is something different, whatever. But again,
they were not executed, not even close.
right.
Oh my
Black
God.
people. Black people. A film that should not be made with black people is above original plots, right?
Yeah.
So now we're getting to Anora and Wicked because I'm just saying Color Purple, that's as how high as I feel like it should go based off the quality of the film and the fact that the film should have been made, but also black people. But now if we're getting to Anora and Wicked, right? Trying to go between the two of them, you bring up a good point about Anora, right? And also in totality, Wicked was just a long movie. But now I'm looking at these films. Our top 4 aren't gonna budge because those are quality films. But now I'm looking at black people and I'm looking at Anora. And Anora's
Femme
like, okay,
and challengers, girl. We're good. We're good.
I want the black people to win.
I'm so sorry. We have to be honest. I'm so sorry. We have to.
Fine.
We have to.
But hey, I just wanted to relay my point. I'm not saying that
I feel
Anora
you,
should be
and
below,
I understand the tactics that you were using.
Yes. I'm rooting for
it.
everyone black. So yes, I will say this though. I will say this right now. There will be a massive change if I know it's the two of us, but if there's any reason that Challengers is going to drop below top 3 or Femme is going to drop below top 2, then we need to do a mass change of everything. Because if we don't have 2 black films in the top 3, at that point, Anora's
everything
moving down.
Black's on top.
I'm
so sorry.
Exactly. I am glad we are in an understanding. Thank you. Good night.
We'll have to do what we got to do. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm not.
And anybody who says that this list is biased, you're a liar.
Everything's biased, right?
Yes, but at the same time, no, we are sound. So you're lying. I'm staring deeply into the camera right now.
Period. I back her up.
So yeah. Anyways, okay. So do you mind reading our rankings, please? Because I think right now we're at 12 movies.
Yes, we have 12 movies. So at the top, of course, we have Femme, Challengers, Anatomy of a Fall, Past Lives, The Substance, Anora, Wicked, Color Purple, Babygirl, A Different Man, The Last Showgirl, and Nightbitch.
Do you know what's so interesting to me?
What?
A lot of these, like, there's a couple movies where they're like back to back, right? Like based off the episodes we did. Challengers and Past Lives are. Oh wait, no, actually, I forgot Anatomy of the Fall's in there. I thought it was Challengers, Past Lives, Anora, The Substance, Wicked, The Color Purple. There's a couple films that they just kind of just get plopped together into our list, which is really interesting.
Yes.
But yeah, wow. How do you feel now? Oh, you see what?
I was going to say, I don't see anything beating Femme, but we still have more movies to watch.
Yeah, there's a couple. But I agree. Femme was just, there needs to be a rewatch.
So good. Oh, yeah. I told you, I'm gonna get that on DVD.
Please. Yeah, when you do get 2 copies, send one to me. I'll pay for it. Just send it to me.
Period.
But I was going to say, how do you feel? We are 6 episodes in, 12 movies deep. Are you feeling the movie fatigue?
I definitely am.
Yep.
Yes. Definitely. But I was able to like start watching some more movies today. At least one. I started one today. So I think the juices are still flowing. I'm just going to have to be patient with myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get back on it because we're now at the point that we caught up in episodes to the movies that I've watched. So I need to go through and start watching some more.
Yep.
So we'll
Yes,
see.
ma'am.
I've been feeling a lot of fatigue. I don't think I'm sleeping enough, but
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's been so
I need
busy.
caffeine actually.
I need Jesus. Please.
Ooh.
Help me,
Whew.
Lord.
But
But yeah.
anyway, good episode. Good episode. Great discussion. This was fun.
Yay.
And we made it through our first disagreement.
Oh, and we're still friends.
I know, isn't that
Yay.
crazy? We made it.
Drama.
Ooh, alrighty then. This was fun, Chanel. I'll talk to you again soon.
Alrighty. Bison tea.
Bye.
Is someone knocking on my door? Hello? Open the door. Open the door. I'm filming a podcast right now. Goodbye.
Bye.
You want to say hi to the podcast?
No, thank you.
Okay, bye.